Okay, tonight we have a brewery that we have not yet explored. I'm very excited to try this beer. This is Boulevard Brewing Company. Their Bourbon Barrel Quad Barrel Aged Ale, or BBQ. It's an 11.8% quadruple ale, in the vein, of course, of the Belgian beers. And Boulevard Brewing Company, a little quick history here. It's a Kansas City, Missouri brewery. I don't think we've done any out of Kansas City yet. It was started by a guy named John McDonald, who founded the brewery based on a trip to Europe back in the mid-80s, 1984, summer of 1984. And while he was out there, he discovered many Belgian beers, which, of course, Belgian beers were not really prevalent in the U.S. at the time. I don't know what you could find. But he was amazed by all the selection and everything, and he kind of made it his life's goal to brew a good replica of these Belgian beers. And he opened his first brew house in 1989. Their Tank 7 Farmhouse Ale is their most popular. They have a lot of Saisons, a lot of Belgian stuff. They do have a few IPAs as well. This particular beer, they say, is based loosely on, let's see here, there's no notes here, but it does say it's based loosely on their Smokestack series, The Sixth Glass. It's an Abbey-style quad that's separated into a number of oak bourbon barrels, and then it's aged up to 3 years. I don't know how long this one was particularly aged for. I guess I could find out if I know all my stuff, but it says goodbye December 30th, 2018. It's currently April of 2017. They then add the cherries because part of the flavor gets lost in the aging process. There's some toffee and vanilla notes involved as well. This is 26 IBUs. The original blurb on Beer Advocate, I believe, says 19 IBUs, but on the Boulevard website it says 26 IBUs. Don't know if that means this is a different kind of tasting brew now. It's also a rotational. I don't know when it's really released, what kind of season it is. Just, I guess, whenever they feel like releasing a batch, they'll release a batch. And it's been brewed, it looks like, since 2008. They started brewing this particular beer. So let's pour into this Mad Elf tulip glass and see what we got from this quad. Very nice head on this beer, as you can see. And kind of a light look to it. Not that darker kind of quad that sometimes we see. But, wow, heck of a head. I'll tell you what, for a quad, that is an amazing head on this beer. It is kind of turning a little darker as the head dissipates. Not really too see-through, not too transparent. Let's get the aroma now of Boulevard Brewing Company Bourbon Barrel Quad. Definitely getting the bourbon. Bourbon just hits you right off the nose right here. And a tad of the dark fruit, dark plum maybe. Hint of the cherry mixing in. Decent mix. And the whiskey, the bourbon is not really too prevalent. It's not like hurting the nose or anything like that. It's very subtle whiskey. So it's very, probably aged pretty well here. Yeah, very subtle, very good, smooth kind of aroma to this beer. So let's get the taste now of Bourbon Barrel Quad Barrel Aged Ale, or BBQ. Big bourbon, big oak bourbon taste to this beer as soon as it hits the throat. And I'm getting a very strong scent of vanilla, or strong taste of vanilla with this beer too. Dark fruit, very light on the cherry. Not very overpowering, because that's sometimes what beers can get a little too overpowering on the cherry taste. We get a little mouthfeel taste here. Absolutely stupendous. A 10 out of 10 for sure for this beer. Everything just gels together perfectly. The look, the smell is so smooth. The taste is just a perfect mix. That bourbon is not too overpowering. Nothing is overpowering. Nothing's fighting each other. It's all a blend. It all comes together perfectly, I think. And this beer is one of the perfect quads. I really can't say much more about it other than perfect. Everything just intermixes perfectly. Cherries, oak, bourbon, the vanilla notes, the dark fruit notes. Just everything is. This is a perfect American quad for sure. 10 out of 10.